are live on TikTok. A very good afternoon to all of you fantastic TikTok followers. Now, we're doing this live on TikTok at the same time as we're doing a recording for the podcast, A Jolly Good Natter over coffee and biscuits. So you're either watching this live as it happens, or you're watching it after the event, but either one is fine. As you know, my name is Richard Story, and I am joined as ever by my erstwhile friend and co-presenter, the fellow who never forgets his name. This is the thing that we're always astounded about, and he's just about to prove it once again. Go on, tell them your name.
Oh. Is he looking it up?
Yeah, you have to look it up.
Mark Cameron.
Yeah, you're right. He's right. Although I'm a bit disappointed you had to look it up, but still. Now, you may think that having Mark and I to co-present this little session is enough. Well, we do, don't we? We do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. However, in an unceasing attempt to give you, the TikTok listeners, and you, the podcast followers, unceasing video and audio experience, we have today a special guest. We do. Someone who, and now you'll know as well, if you're a loyal follower of these things, that most of the things we talk about are utterly superficial and inane. Yeah. We tease each other. Well, he teases me. I don't tease him. I just tell the truth. But anyway, today is going to be a bit more serious. All right, behave. See what I have to work with. Right, we have with us today a special guest who is involved in a community activity, I think we can call it that, which is the least I can do to call it a very noble pursuit, a very noble pastime. And we're going to find out all about it. So, ladies and gentlemen, I give you the one and only and incredibly indefatigable Mr. Darrel McLeish.
Thank you for having me. It's honestly, thank you. It's great to be here as friends together. It's a pleasure. By the way, just before we even get going, Mozart Bar, Annerley Road, top coffee. It's amazing.
There you go.
Fantastic.
That's what we like. That's what we like.
It's blinding. And he never told me to say that, neither. I promise you, it is banging coffee. Really good.
Right, well, Darrel, since you're our guest for the day, I mean, I could just tell everyone what it is that you're involved with, but why don't you tell us yourself?
Yeah, that'd be great. Yeah.
I don't know, there's so many kind of angles that I could sort of start from. But I'm involved in a boxing ministry, particularly a Christian boxing ministry. And it's where we get the church to set up boxing clubs, and we preach the gospel of Jesus at the end of it. Reason for this, we want to help people learn discipline, let out their aggression in a controlled way through the sport of boxing. And we believe that Jesus is the answer for everything. So boxing's great, it's amazing, fantastic, it's proven to help people get out of knife crime and gang violence. But we believe that without Jesus, it's all going to come to an end. And so we want people to know Jesus. Okay. So we do boxing and Jesus at the same time.
Do you want to tell us how you started what's it called, by the way?
It's called Christian Boxing Alliance. You can get these hats, they're coming out soon online, and it's got the boxing clock on the side and it says time to worship Jesus. So I'll let you know anyway. Anyway, we'll come to that later. I'll run ahead of myself.
Tell us how you started this, and how long has it been going? Yeah, if you just give us an outline of that'd be great. Because I know personally, because obviously we'll get into it later, but I know personally how it all started. But for the listeners and viewers, just let us know.
Yeah, it all kicked off in a nutshell. Part of my own journey when I was a teenager, I used to get up to no good. Trying to act the big man, carried knives, stabbed people all the time, would never fight someone face to face, was a complete coward. I ended up taking someone's life, spending time inside. Cut a very long story short, I come to know Jesus, and when I got released, I was like, there's a big problem in our nation. Knife crime's out of control, there's family breakup, it's horrendous. And I felt, as a Christian, I felt called to do something about it. So I was having conversations with a pastor saying, why don't we set up a boxing ministry where we can let, particularly young people, because knife crime's gone up 81% in a decade. It's crazy, particularly young people. We can help them learn discipline through the sport of boxing and then preach the gospel of Jesus. And we was engaged in those sort of conversations. And then really sadly, there was a guy called Michael Jonas who was sadly killed in Betts Park, a stone's throw away from our church. And it was really then that we said, this is on our patch, you know, we really need to get involved and do something. And then it was then that we said, why don't we go for it now? And then the pastor was great. He just got the church, you know, presented to them the idea of what we wanted to do. They just threw money at it and said, let's go. We set up sessions in Annerley Town Hall. We put the sessions on free for teenagers. Annerley Town Hall have been fantastic. They didn't charge us, we didn't charge them, because they want to help the young people of the community as well. So, and then now we get to the Christian Boxing Alliance, because it's been really successful in one area. People are saying, well, why don't you get other churches on board? So we've had messages from all over the place, people wanting to get involved. North Wales, Ireland, Scotland, Tanzania, would you believe it? So yeah, we'll see what's going to come of it.
Can I ask a couple of questions about, so you've got your young boxers. Can you tell us, have any of your boxers actually competed, won any belts, anything like that? Can you just let the listeners and viewers know? We're very early stages with it all. Really early stages with it all.
Any really interesting. It's in a nutshell, this guy come to us. He was getting into fights on the street. He thought, I want to go to boxing to get on top of my aggression, or get on top of the aggression that was affecting his life. So he come down, got stuck into the training. He won 3 bouts, and then he just said the next day, well, not exactly the next day, but he said, I've had enough. I don't want to do it anymore. He said, boxing's helped me to get where I need to get, and it's helped me to reset and refocus my life again. And he also said about the club, he said, I don't just love, you know, the club, the boxing. He said, I love the message behind it. I'm not saying he's a Christian or nothing like that, but he loves the fact that sometimes after the session we've sat down with, you know, some of the kids and that we allow them to talk about things that are important, like mental health, drugs, knife crime, bullying, all these things that we don't like talking about as blokes. We create this space. So yeah, one's had 3. There's probably been about 7 or 8 gone through the club. Yeah. Which have had a few bouts. Yeah, a couple of wins and a few losses. Yeah. So, but I'm really proud of every single one of them. Like to get into to walk into a boxing ring. Or into a boxing gym, let alone getting into the ring itself, takes a lot of courage. You know, you're going in there, you've got these people going bang, 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 bang on the bags, and it's like, yeah. And so to get in there and then to leave everything, all the pride out the door, to get in the ring and do it properly, like I've got so much respect for them.
Yeah, with boxing, when I was doing it with you there, Darrell, there's certain kids that I saw that were very shy when they first came in.
Yeah.
You know, lack confidence. When I worked with you, you saw kids developing in front of your eyes. They became, you know, young men, you know, overnight, let's say, didn't they? And it was really good to see them have confidence, speaking up, asking questions. So it builds confidence as well as controlling aggression, which is fantastic. As you said, it redirects it in the right direction instead of, as you mentioned, knife crime, going into gangs, which at the moment is soaring at the moment. That's the problem. And you're being a massive help in not just in this area, but all over the Kent area, isn't it, as well? Yeah.
So what would a typical boxing session consist of?
Oh, bit of pad work. You know, they hold the mitts, pads, skipping, do a little bit of fitness, shadow boxing. For those that are more advanced, taking it a little bit more seriously, turning up to training on time and not, you know, like this when the coach ain't looking. They'll be put in for sparring. And when they get a handle on in-club sparring, they'll go to out-of-club sparring, and then when they're ready to go into competition. So that didn't answer your question, did it? I went on a big tangent.
No, that's all right. No. Now listen, I've got one of your flyers here.
Right, yeah.
Here's one of the flyers.
Yes.
You see? And I've had a look at it. And there's one particular point I really want to highlight, because I think this is crucial. Obviously, when you're running something like this, you already said that people have been very generous financially and that kind of thing. But of course, there's elements of cost involved in something like this. And I see here that for 7 to 12s, it costs £3. I assume that means for one session, right? And for adults, at the other end of the spectrum, it's £5. But crucially, for teenagers, it's free. Now, I've got to say, I think that is an absolute stroke of genius, because they're the ones who you're really focusing on, the ones who are at that very impressionable time of their lives, the ones who are probably are more vulnerable to peer pressure than any other age group. So to let them come in for free, I think is fantastic.
Yeah.
So are there any particular instances from that age group where, I mean, you don't have to say names obviously,
Yeah.
but anything that's been really heartwarming where they've come in, shall we say, in a bad way, but they've left in a good way thanks to their experience there in the boxing club?
Yeah, we had a mother turn up with I won't go into personal names, nothing like that, because I don't want to come on camera. But we had a mother turn up. She brought her son with her. They're very distraught. She said his family member's been murdered, and she said, I'm really frightened that he's gonna go out get revenge. She said, can you help him? I said, yeah, no problem. So he come down, got stuck into boxing, did really well actually. First of all, we were kind of competing on a bit of a level. I was doing a little bit of moving around, sparring with him. Then he just elevated. One day I got an uppercut out of nowhere. I was like, where did that come from? So he was starting to get right into the boxing, which was brilliant. He ended up competing, winning a few fights. What was really amazing, he had some mates that may have been getting up to no good, let me just say it like that, and he would actually invite them to the club. He'd invite them to competitions when he was going on competition. So it was a really good witness, like for all these mates to see that happen. And he ended up winning some cup within London as well. He did so well, really, honestly, so proud of him. And he's completely out of that lifestyle now. Just amazing. There's another one as well, kind of one I've just mentioned to you, but there was this other guy. I've got to tell you about this other geezer. He was around about 18, I think. He loved the boxing. He said it was great. He said this is amazing. Your church really listens to young people, really gets alongside them. You've created a safe space for us. They said it ain't even safe to walk down Crystal Palace Park or Betts Park, people tooled up all the time. But they said, this is safe, we feel cared for, feel safe. But he said to me at the end of the session, he said, Jesus ain't who he said he is. He said, that Bible is corrupt. He said, Jesus is just a bloke and that's it, you've got it wrong. And I said, well, we continue to love him, he was coming. I said, you can still come to the session, that's absolutely fine, no problem at all. But anyway, we had a bit of a back and forth. I was challenging him on what he believes. He's challenging me on what I believe. Maybe I upset him a couple of times as well. But you know what? We've got to get used to things like that in a day and age where we need to be able to agree to disagree with love and respect, right? Anyway, so he didn't just leave as storm out. He went away. He was doing college and stuff like that. A few months later, he messaged me. He said, "Where are you?" I was a bit worried. I thought, where am I going to get a kick in or something? He goes, no, I want to help set up the boxing tonight. He goes, I've got some good news for you. And he goes, anyway, so he come down and help setting up. He goes, just want to let you know I've become a Christian. I was like, oh, wow. And I'm not joking. I'm in the session doing pad work with people. He's got tears in his eyes. I promise you, got tears in his eyes. He's talking to me about Jesus. He said, I've never seen the world like this before. He said, I had no idea that Jesus had done all this stuff for me. This is incredible. And he's crying. I'm sitting there padding someone thinking, mate, can you just turn it in? We'll have a chat afterwards. Yeah. But in my heart, I'm crying in my heart, like this is amazing. Yeah, anyway, but just like little stories like that. I'm not saying I directly led him to the Lord, but this is what we're here for. We're here to kind of let people let out their aggression in a controlled way, let them have them difficult discussions, and if we can help out on the way we can. But there's that, and then there's others that have come to know Jesus as well. I mean, and just one more, there was last week at one of our other sessions up in Strood, we got a session in St Francis Strood. Just time and time again, there's been kids turning up that are struggling. They don't want to come in, they're a bit fearful coming into the session, and they're pushing through it, they're getting on, they're responding. And at the end of the session, there was a couple of youngsters. The mum is already helping out, doing a fantastic job there. She said, come on lads, we got to go home. They refused to leave until everything was put away, because they want to help, you know what I mean? Yeah. Just setting, and it's been amazing. It really has. Amazing.
That's a good point there. Me and you have spoken about this. Unfortunately, there isn't enough fathers around kids these days, so that's where the discipline and respect has sometimes been lost. So by coming to boxing, men, when they get to a teenager, they need their father around to control that aggression as well and help them guide them through those difficult years. And unfortunately, there is a lot of single mothers which are bringing up young men, which can lead to violence because the mother's obviously working sometimes, doing the best she can, but she can't work and look after a son or sons and whatnot. Mention that as well. Women do come to the session as well.
Yeah, do, yeah.
That's the thing. So I know we've mentioned a lot about young boys and things like that.
Yeah.
When I was working with you, there was a lot of young girls coming in. They were little teenagers, and they were doing really well as well. So it's really not just a male dominated gym or boxing alliance. It is much involved with women, young women as well. And yeah, it's just nice. It's really good.
So not only like on the face of it, you could all say, "Oh, what a lovely thing this is," but you've actually got cast iron evidence that it's making a positive difference.
Yes,
and that you can point to people who would be in a far worse place than they are had it not been what you're doing.
Yeah.
So that's good. So suppose there's someone watching this recording or watching on TikTok on live right now.
Just move your mic up a little bit because you're covering it with your hands, so you may not be able to hear the sound.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was a bit of a swipe there, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I've been doing it all the time. For those of you watching,
Ken's recording.
you see why I have to wait. You see why I worry about him. I do. Yes, if you're watching him on here or on here and you've got any questions, so if you're watching live and you've got any questions about this, please do type them in on the text and we'll read them out. If you're watching on the recording over there, you can send us an email to ajollygoodnatter@gmail.com. And if any other suggestions you have, we always like your suggestions about what to talk about, what topics, or what guests to invite. But in particular today, if you've got questions about the Christian Boxing Alliance, now's your chance to find out all about it. So if someone was watching this and they did want to find out more, how can they contact you?
Do you know what? They can call me on my mobile. That's my most preferred way. I love speaking to people just in person, but they can go to our TikTok, Christian Boxing Alliance. If you private message me there, I can answer it that way. Or if you go to we got a Gmail account, cboxingalliance@gmail.com. You remember?
Yeah, I was going to say, you got that. I set that up. So.
Yeah, the cboxingalliance@gmail.com. And then our website, which is Christian Boxing Alliance. So the website at the moment is just going through a bit of renewal. So probably the easiest way is through TikTok and through the Gmail account. Yeah.
So say it once again.
So the Gmail account, you can contact us, is cboxingalliance@gmail.com. And our TikTok is Christian Boxing Alliance.
And is there a limit to how many people you can take?
Oh, we don't worry about that. What it is, we're just calling kind of churches to get involved. So if you're someone who, I don't know, you could live in Tanzania, for example. Well, yeah, you can live anywhere, right? And if you think, actually, I'd love this to run in my church. I'd love this. Reach out to me and we can hook that up. We've got a safeguarding policy in place. We've got a code of conduct. All our coaches and all that are DBS safe checked and all that. And we can help you get set up, and then you can start this in your own place. We've also got a lot of professional boxers. Well, we've got a couple of professional boxers on boarders who love it as well, and they're hopefully more will be joining soon. So yeah.
And they don't have to be Christians. Just to let you know, you don't have to be Christians to be part of this. Just clarification, because me and you have had questions over this in the past, but anybody can actually join. If you're more than welcome, just go to it. You will have the time of your life, believe me. So yeah,
you're based here in Annerley, but you mentioned that there are lots of other locations all over the place, and so I mean, how many are there in the UK at the moment?
At the moment, actually physically up and running, we've got 3 at the moment, but so we've got Strood, Annerley and Harlow, but yeah, there's several. There's one starting in Chatham soon. There's one starting in Dartford soon, and there's several more, but it's just time, resources at the moment, just getting there. We just got given a van and pop-up boxing ring, so we can, focus on kind of not, we can branch out a little bit, but yeah.
So at the moment, it's kind of London and the southeast.
Yeah.
All right. So you heard it here first. If you are in that area, and if you're even remotely interested in finding out more about this, you know what to do. You come and find the Christian Boxing Alliance site on TikTok. Is that what it's called? Christian Boxing Alliance?
Yeah.
Send a direct message to Mr. Darrel McLeish, ask him your question, whatever it is, and I'm sure he'll be able to point you in the right direction. Yeah. Splendid. And now, dear listeners, we come to that part of the podcast which we know you all know and love so well, the thing which has taken us all by surprise in terms of how popular it has become, and that is our taste test. And as our special guest, Darrel, would you be willing to participate with us in our taste test this time?
Definitely.
Thank you so much for being so willing. And the object under scrutiny on this occasion is this packet of M&S. Not just any old thing. M&S, mark you. M&S Pick and Marks. You see, Pick and Marks, Marks and Spencer. You get it as well as Pick and Mix. Pick and Marks Belgian milk chocolate malt balls.
Yes.
Ooh. So what we're going to do is we're going to try. Someone has thoughtfully opened the packet already to save time, because it's nice to save time sometimes, isn't it? Okay. So we're going to try these and give it marks out of 10. So the trick is we take one each, hold it in our hot fingers, hoping it won't melt too much, and then we're going to try it all simultaneously at the same moment. So help yourself. It's a good job as a generous helping, isn't it? We might need more.
I know. Okay. I know. Hopefully you're going to be all right with the boxing with all these chocolates.
I'm starting to...
Yeah, I think you are. I was thinking about joining your boxing club, but I'm not now.
Ready?
Right, here we go. 3. Oh, Ken.
5 second rule.
It's so lovely, I dropped it.
5 second rule, Ken.
Right. 3, 2, 1. Well, surprisingly good, considering we've never tried one of those before. So, Darrel, what's your first impression? Well, he obviously enjoys it.
I want to spill the beans so badly. Go on,
tell us, Darrel, did you like that M&S malted milk chocolate ball?
The first time or the third time? Should we go there or not?
Well,
do you want me to go there or not?
Your overall impression, let's put it that way.
They're lovely. They taste really nice. Big and crunchy. Good to get your teeth into. Lovely and chocolatey. I'd definitely give them a 10 out of 10, 100%.
Very good. And Marcus, what's your score?
9.
Okay. Well, my score is 9.705.
What?
9.705. I thought you heard me.
9.705.
Imagine you did this three times and your scores kept getting higher and higher.
Well, that's because you know sometimes you have to acquire a taste for something and you appreciate it more as time goes on.
Yeah, imagine it was 9.5, then went up to 9.6 and 9.7. Imagine that.
I'm feeling a bit sick as well.
That's inflation for you, really.
Not for the reasons that you might think. But I'm going to have to say, I think the audience might want to know what I'm talking about.
well, anyway, there you have it.
The audience would say it's a 9.
I think we'll probably take an average as 9, can't we? 9.328.
Yeah.
Gorgeous. Very mouth-watering.
You're very kind, Ken. I didn't know you cared. Right.
Where's the rest of the packet?
Well, strangely, there aren't many left. Anyway. Right, well, listen, folks, we have reached the end of this extraordinary episode once again. We'd like to say a huge thank you to our special guest, Darrel McLeish. We wish you every success with your boxing club.
Yeah.
If you have been in any way touched or impacted by what, no pun intended, by what you've heard him talking about, you can go to the Christian Boxing Alliance page here on TikTok and send him a direct message, and he'll be able to be in touch with you and answer whatever questions you may have. Okay, so thank you very much. Thank you also to the wonderful Ken, who's allowed us to come here to the Mozart Bar, Mozart London, 69 Annerley Road, SE19, where, incidentally, you can also buy signed copies of my books. But yes, thank you for subscribing to our channel. We're desperately trying to get to 500 subscribers so we can go live on here instead of just uploading pre-recorded stuff all the time. So please consider subscribing to our channel. Thank you very much for all your kind attention. So, Mark, do you have any closing comments for what you want to say?
Yeah, Mark.
To the listeners?
Yeah, so contact Darrel at cboxingalliance@gmail.com as well if you need to, which is another form of communication. And our email address there, Richard.
We also have an email address, yes, which is a jollygoodnatter@gmail.com,
Yes.
where you can suggest to us any topics of conversation you'd like us to embark on, and any special guests you'd like us to consider inviting. So there you go.
Yeah, brilliant. Well, yes, be nice to each other.
Be nice to each other. And as we always say at the end of these wonderful shows, don't cry because it's over, smile because it happened. Thank you.
So you want me to smile because of a editorial blunder? Just saying, Mark. I had to get you back.
Anyway, that's all we have time for.
We'll leave it there.
That's all we have time for, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much. Thank you.